What is up there, LEGO fans, and welcome back. Alex here. In this video, we are going to be doing a review and placement of the globe. This is set number 21332. It contains 2,585 pieces and retails for $230 US. Now, normally in my videos, I do a time-lapse build, but you're going to notice that the globe is already built. And that is because Mindy and I decided to build the globe on one of our recent Twitch live streams. But I don't want to break from tradition here. I still want to do a time-lapse build. So I'm going to take that segment from that live stream and I'm going to squish it into a time-lapse build. So I'll run that now, and then we'll come back and give it a proper review. And we are back, and let's go ahead and talk about the globe. First off, this thing is pretty darn cool. I think this is actually a lot cooler than the world map, which I don't own, so I gotta be fair and say that. But visually, this thing is very cool looking, and it's something that I'm really looking forward to put on display in my office. But first off, let's go ahead and talk about the instructions. As you would expect, this has some pretty cool information about globes in general, and of course, information about the creator, and then you're off into the build. The build is done in 10 different sections. Now the build starts, of course, with the base, and that was actually a lot of fun to put together. And the result is a very fine looking, kind of like a carved wood look with a nice black and gold accent, and that continues up the arm as well. Now I gotta say, this arm is constructed very well. Even though it looks like it could break really easy, it is actually quite sturdy and holds the globe in place very well. Construction of the globe itself is next, and you start with building the equator, which was actually pretty fun. It got a little technical when you connected it to a lot of the Technic elements that connect it to the display stand. But after that, things kind of went south. And yeah, I guess the pun is intended there, because at that point, it became very repetitious. I felt like I was building the same thing over and over again because, well, you are. You're basically building the northern hemisphere first, 4 sections at a time, and then you build the southern hemisphere 4 sections at a time. And each of those sections is the exact same build, and the only variation in them is that you are placing these plates and tiles on the surface that represent, of course, the continents. There are no stickers for the set. They're all printed elements, and a lot of those printed elements are actually the names of the continents as well as the oceans. And for whatever reason, they are glow in the dark, which I thought was an interesting choice. It seemed a little odd to me, but hey, it's pretty cool. When you turn off the lights, you can definitely see all of the labels for the continents and the oceans. Now, once our globe is complete, it is time to put it on the display. And once that is done, I gotta say, this thing is awesome. And watch how easily this thing spins. Look at that. It just goes and goes and goes. Very little resistance. However, I will say, I spoke to a friend of mine who owns this set, and he got it when it first came out. So he's had it for a number of months. Did mention to me that it does begin to sag over time, which is very unfortunate. He mentioned that Australia, when we find Australia, it does have this, the glow-in-the-dark sticker kind of protrudes a little bit. And when that goes around, it does tap that arm a little bit. So that's very unfortunate. At the moment, mine's brand new, so no problem. But that's something to be aware of. When Mindy and I were building the globe, I mentioned to her that it reminded me a lot of building the Death Star 2 from 2005. Very similar build styles were used on that, with using Technic elements and Technic axles to get that spherical look here. It's really cool to see that these sets are 17 years apart, but using very similar build styles. I do wish, though, that the globe was as big as the Death Star 2. That would have been pretty darn cool. So that is my review of the globe, the 40th LEGO Idea submission, and I gotta say, I think it's a real winner, but it is now time to find a spot for this thing to be displayed, and I think this will look really good in the office. Here we are in the office, and it gets its very own shelf right next to the Planet Express ship, which is giving it a nice little send-off there. Really nice. So let me back out here a little bit so we can take it all in. I did have to move some things around as always when I put a new set in here. So the search and rescue helicopter had to go downstairs. So that got demoted, I guess you could say. But regardless, it is getting pretty darn full in here. We're going to have to find other solutions on how we put things in here. But regardless, I'm pretty happy with the globe in here. It really classes the place up, don't you think? All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.